I didn't run this shit for 15 years just to stand by and watch you on the tank headed to fucking battle with this dude. You gotta make up your mind, make a fucking choice.
Now, Jenard and Diamond's relationship was always going to be one full of conflicts because of how Diamond wants to do things his way, but Jenard's been running the CBI for 15 years. But even then, there's people within the crew that still saw Diamond as a natural leader. But the same could be said about Jenard, because the split and divide within the CBI goes beyond Jenard and Diamond, as we all saw D-Mac and Marshall only taking orders from Jenard. But Jenard's actions and words over these past few episodes is definitely a problem for his brother and Tommy, because of how he's clearly waiting for the right moment to strike and try and take back control over the CBI, and it was clear for all of us to see in this scene, which we're going to talk about in a bit more detail. So we're going to run through how Jenard should never outshine the master, which is one of the principles of the 48 laws of power, as well as how a huge betrayal from Jenard could backfire and end in a death within the CBI, and is this what it's going to take for Jenard to realize that Diamond was right all along. So as always, we're going to have a look at a few different perspectives when it comes to Jenard's actions. But let's start with this, because Joseph Sikora tweeted this in the week, and he's right. Jenard is way too smart, and even though we've seen him acting a bit snaky behind Diamond's back, taking coke, and revealing that he's got a thing for Liliana, he's still smart in his own way. And that's why Diamond needs to keep his brother in check and keep his head on a constant swivel, just like Tommy has, because Jenard is someone who ran the CBI for 15 years and held it down while all the other crews around the block and fell apart and started to beef within. And this is where we were given a history lesson from Jenard. He had bigger plans because he was on his way to an Ivy League university, which is Brown University, before Diamond got locked up. And there is always one character who has dreams beyond the drug game in the world of power. There was Ghost, who had the dream of owning a club in Miami. In Raising Kanan, there's Lulu with the music, and in Power Book 2 Ghost, we're now seeing Tariq trying to have an exit plan as well. But it is slightly different for Jenard, because he knows there is no going back, because his dream is completely dead, and you can tell he definitely throws some blame towards Diamond for this.
I gave up my future for him, E. I had plans, bro. College, a whole different life.
So you can definitely tell that Jenard hasn't forgotten about what he's lost and what he's been through, and now he knows that the only thing that's left for him is the CBI, because this is all he's ever known for the last 15 years. But now that Diamond is the head of the CBI again, we're seeing making all of these decisions and plays without Jenard, and this was a perfect example. He wasn't even invited to this sit down with Tommy and Vic Flynn, which Diamond set up himself. And Vic even questioned how would Jenard feel about this sit down that was happening without him. But this was happening without him because Diamond knew that Jenard would never approve of working with either Tommy or Vic. And this is a whole nother conflict between the two brothers, because the thing is, these three sitting around this table all have the same vision, and that's to put their differences, beef, or past history aside to make money, whereas Jenard seems like the person to hold a grudge and only have one way of doing business, a mentality that is somewhat similar to Walter Flynn, because he's also someone who doesn't believe that they should be working with the CBI. But we all realize that's a backwards way of thinking, and so does Vic. So him losing control over the CBI is one thing, but he definitely didn't like the fact that he was not given a seat at the table, where all these decisions were made without him. And I do think this is why it was Jenard and Elijah who tipped off the cops, telling them there was a deal going down in this yard, because Diamond gave us a history lesson of how his grandma used to work at this location, when it used to be a slaughterhouse back in the 70s. So Jenard is someone who may have known where the meat was going down, and if it was Jenard, then this was definitely a snaky move behind Diamond's back, a move that Diamond should be questioning. How did the cops know that they were there? And if he looks deep enough, he may find the answer right in front of him. But just as we're on the topic of Officer Bennigan chasing the yardies, he's someone who Vic has in his back pocket, and there is no way he would have come to bust this deal if he knew Vic was involved, or at least he would have tipped him off, because that's what Vic pays for. But of course, he doesn't know that Vic was working with Diamond and Tommy. But this revealed a lot more backstory to Officer Bennigan, and possibly the CBI, because we found out he's using the money given to him by Vic Flynn for his sister, which is why he's Vic's inside man within law enforcement. But rewinding it back further, the fact that he came into Diamond's barbershop in a show of power and indirectly telling him that he's got eyes on him and to watch his back, I do feel like the CBI, Diamond, or Jenard could have been responsible for what happened to his sister, or he holds them accountable for what happened. Because I wouldn't be surprised if the Flynns did something and pinned it on them, making it look like it was a CBI move. So I do think there's some history that we need to learn when it comes to Officer Bennigan and the CBI, so this is definitely one to keep an eye on. But after this, you could tell that Jenard wasn't only happy with the move that Diamond's making with Tommy, but the fact that he's now making a move with the Yardies and Zamos, because when it came to Jenard working with them in episode 1, we all saw Diamond shut Jenard down for it, but all of a sudden, Diamond's happy to work with them, because Tommy says so. So is Jenard's anger justifiable? I definitely think so, because if we were to look at it from Jenard's perspective, Diamond's doing everything he told Jenard that he was against, which is working with the Yardies, and as he's come back as the leader of the CBI, he's completely cut his brother out from any type of decision making, as we saw with his sit down. But what I do believe that plays a huge part in Jenard feeling more aggrieved is that he lost his dream to keep Diamond's dream alive, because he did everything for Diamond. He kept the CBI alive, and not only did he keep his barber shop from going down under, he bought this shop for his brother, all at the expense of losing his own dreams and ambitions. But Jenard's problem in taking over the CBI again is as much as he wants to, he knows that this isn't the right time, because he won't have the full backing of everyone within the CBI, because Elijah even mentioned that the old heads would have Diamond's back, whereas Jenard would have the backing of the younger soldiers. But I do expect Jenard to make a move behind his brother's back, because I'm sure we can all see it coming. But the question is, can Diamond see it coming? Because one thing I believe Jenard has realized is he should never outshine the master, which is one of the 48 laws of power, because when it comes to power and trying to eclipse the boss, it's a dangerous mistake and a dangerous game to play, because it would have torn the CBI down the middle, and it definitely would create a huge divide that would do more harm than good, and Jenard's made his jealousy clear. So as we talk about Jenard not outshining the master with Diamond, another person who Jenard doesn't know who he's dealing with is Tommy, because nobody knows who Tommy is, what he's been through, and what he's capable of, apart from what he's shown us since he came to Chicago, by the moves that he's played with killing Rojas's men, which has definitely showed Jenard he's not to be messed with, and this is why he asked Liliana to kill Tommy, instead of going to kill Tommy himself. Another principle of the 48 laws of power, which is getting others to do the work for you, because he knows that Christmas would have been cancelled for him if he attempted to take Tommy's life himself. And this is Jenard's first mistake, because even though Liliana is loyal to money, she showed us that she's loyal to Tommy, because he's someone who's backed her, despite her stealing the bricks from the Serbs. And I'm sure we can expect Liliana to tell Tommy at some point that Jenard asked her to kill him, but I'm sure Tommy's someone who's already got one eye on Jenard. But it definitely is all poised for a big betrayal from Jenard in my opinion. But having said this, could there be a big death that could unite them before things get out of hand between Diamond and Jenard? A death that could actually make Jenard realize and see sense that Diamond has a right way of doing business. For example, Elijah being killed by the Serbs, because we all know that the Serbs will be looking for blood, and I'm sure Markovic will want to get even with Tommy. So when and if Diamond and the CBI get involved, I think we could see a death among the CBI crew that will ultimately either break the relationship between Jenard and Diamond for good, or unite them, and I think this death could very well be Elijah. But just as we come to a close with this analysis, one thing I wasn't expecting was a Jenard and Liliana romance. There was a Scarface reference, and with Jenard even kissing Liliana's cheek. So let's see where this goes, if it does go anywhere. But let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Will Jenard betray Diamond? Or will it take something like Elijah's death for example, to either unite them again, or worse, completely break their relationship for good? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. And of course, if you're new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Book 4 Force and Power Universe related. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.